live. Welcome, Ash and Matt, as usual. Commentary. End of the series. Race 8, Snetterton. Double race this time. Two 30-minute races with a reverse grid for the second race. So the highlights are certainly interesting, to say the least. It's going to be it's going to be a little bit different this time round because we're going to have to switch between two highlights, and then for the final part of the highlight reel, we've decided that because it's not captured in its full glory, we'll switch to the actual race itself. So it might just be a little bit of jiggery pokery to get the right bit, but it should hopefully show some entertaining racing, especially from Michael, Todd's, and yourself's point of view, Matt.
Yep. It'd be interesting if we could get some feedback on whether people like this sort of new or extra way of doing something. If there's a prolonged battle on track to try and capture as much of it as possible.
Yeah, so obviously the series has ended. We've got a 4 hours at Spa coming up this weekend, so you'll be streaming as well. I'll be
Yes.
streaming, so it should give us some good points from that. Hopefully, some good battles, and we get a good turnout. Snetterton didn't really give us much of a good turnout, but from what I've seen, not many people have got Snetterton DLC.
Or like,
Like a reverse grid, yeah, or even like Snetterton full stop.
yeah.
I didn't mind it as a track. I think it's quite flowing.
I think if we had 20 cars, there'd have been some amazing battles.
Yeah.
But considering we only had 11, well, it went down to 9 after people had the rage quits and incidents, but we still managed to have 2 races where there was battles left, right, and centre. So it must be a good track for racing. It's just people don't like racing on it. Weird.
So if you're new to watching me and Matt, the commentary from the other races, I think we're only missing 3 races, aren't we, from this series due to people being away and me being away.
And
But
replays being saved over.
yeah, we've sorted that now, and me and Matt's had a few technical issues because we've switched. I think we've had 3 different Twitch streaming capabilities, haven't we? We finally settled on Streamlabs, but we're still ironing out a few
Yeah.
minor issues, so we don't get, for some reason, the chat in game. We're still trying to iron that out. So yeah, if you are writing messages, we're not ignoring you. We just can't see them for the minute. If you do know how to sort that, by all means, drop us a message.
Tell you what I'll do then, while we're doing this, is if there is anyone watching, I will have Twitch up on my phone and
Good idea.
look out for any chats.
Good idea. Other than that, if you have a look at the previous Twitches, you should see that we have had some good stewarding events. So the stewarding is basically at the end of every race. We run software in it, make sure everybody's behaving as they should. Anyway, let's get to the good bit, I think. So I will switch to the stream and I'll give you a countdown, Matt. So it's currently sat on me. So I'll toggle the HUD so you can see all the race names. So as you can see from the quali, I'll just do the top 3 qualies, but we've got Matt in first. Todd has come back to us. He's now finished doing what he was doing, so he's now able to race again. So he qualified second in the Porsche. And then Michael Woolacott qualified third, although Michael did have a computer technical issue halfway through the race around lap 10, which meant that he was unable to get back in. So that was unfortunate because I think he was running quite high before that.
Yeah, he was running behind me and Todd, but he did come back for race 2, and he felt it.
So I'll count you down then. So we'll go 3, 2, 1. So we start as always. It'll be on board with mine, and then it'll switch through. For some reason, the liveries. I don't know what's happened with the liveries this week. They've not synced off awesome. So from what you can see on the grid, there's only me and Matt running the Cerberus liveries there.
I think out of them lot, we are the only two that do, aren't we?
Yes, we are, I think.
The only others are Paul, Chico, Nick.
So
But yeah, race one, the start was clean. Right? Seemed to be anyway.
I was just going to say I opted out of VR this week because we got really bad thunderstorms and rain, which made the humidity here horrific.
Yeah.
It was still about 24 degrees and really humid, so I didn't think there'd be much left of me by the end of the race. So we've got Tim and Peter, aka P-Dubs, one of Matt's coaching project days.
Yeah, it was a good
It's a
move.
nice late breaking overtake.
Really good example of a block pass.
You don't see many of them because they can quite easily go wrong though. Oh, I think that was Gav in the background there, just losing footing.
Then this is the non-existent battle I was talking about before stream, where it shows Mark and Michael, and as you can see, there's no Michael. Oh, this is where Michael must have...
It disconnected.
Yeah, and because his car's west, it's thought, oh, here we go, it's a good battle this. So yeah, well done ACC.
Yeah, because he just... There we go, he's just disappeared. So, Todd and Matt?
Yeah, quality battle. Me and Todd had both races, and it was my mistake in the end that threw it away a little bit.
Not like you, that. That's not like you going wide there.
Well, I was a bit wary because of how good that Porsche was on the brakes. I weren't sure whether he was missing his braking points or it was just that good. So I was too busy watching him.
Great shot, that.
It ends down at this hairpin, but we carry on side by side for another 2 corners, and there's no contact whatsoever. It was brilliant. And then you got this, the 4-way.
Yeah, so this is Byler, Gav, me, and Tony in a train. Unfortunately for Biles, I think he goes off on that corner and he just manages to get back on. But I take the outside line there and get a nice drive down.
I think, not being unfair to Byler, I think he spent more time on the grass than he did on the track yesterday. But it's not the car for him. The Ferrari, it doesn't work for him, and he struggled like mad. But he still got involved. Kept getting on with it. There's a little love tap, Tony and Byler, sorry. Good move around the outside.
Some nice shots though.
Yeah. Oh.
So
hi, Peter.
P-Dubs had ended up going off there.
And conveniently, he went off exactly the same time as what I did in race 1.
He's sporting a big bit of damage.
Yep. And then he has another one. Another to do.
Claimed a few as that grass, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the grass around Snetterton, it is so weird. It's so bumpy. If you go off, you've had it. He's probably the only car that would survive. It's probably the Beamer.
So I think this is my overtake on Gav. Yeah. Makes a little mistake there.
It clips the sausage and then look at the grass. Bumpy, and then
I tried to give him a bit of room to come back on, which nearly messed my line up.
Good opportunism though.
It didn't last though, not very long.
Oh yeah. We get to see that now. Into turn 1.
This is just
Q spin. And poor Tony, nowhere to go. And there you go.
Yeah. It was not a good manoeuvre for me, that.
All I will say is it's a good job that damage isn't like real life.
Realistic.
Your rear end would have been gone.
I think I'd have been on 3 wheels
Yeah,
and
easily.
minus some suspension.
Yep. And Todd comes round. Didn't really put a foot wrong in race 1. He drove a great race.
Nice, nice race win for Todd on his first race back.
Yep.
So what I'll do is I'll pause the race. We'll come out and put the second highlight reel on.
Ooh. Looking at my car there, I did have some damage. Jesus Christ. It's not far off Peter's.
So
I wouldn't
I'll
mind, but I tapped the wall with the front and then the rear tapped it and I got 25 seconds damage.
don't talk to me about damage.
It was
It's
horrendous.
it's just the smaller the tap on my car seems to cause me the most significant amount of damage.
Yeah, it's crazy some of the damage physics and stats it comes out with.
So I've loaded up the second one, and
Yeah,
if you just give me a heads up when you've got that loaded, and
I'm
then
on it.
right. So what we'll do then is I'll count you down. So we'll go 3, 2, 1. So the main difference to the HUD this time is it's a total reverse grid. So as you can see, Youssef, one of the rookie drivers, he's leading the way, and Michael's obviously at the front from the disconnect.
And may the chaos commence.
Yep. So a little bit of a mistake by P-Dubs there going down the inside of Youssef, puts Youssef onto the grass and effectively retires him from the race. Which is unfortunate because I don't know if Cuts ended up in that as well, looking at the damage.
Possibly. I think him and Smee had a little bit of an incident trying to avoid. But yeah, as we'll find out, I think a little bit later on, there's a much bigger incident involving and you, I believe.
Yeah. Exocet 1.
So yeah, we're just taking our time, really. You know, you reverse grid. You got the fast guys at the back, the slower guys at the front, and there's no point trying to win it in turn 1. So you got to work your way through, and that's a good move by Peter.
I think it would have definitely been a more interesting race with 30 on the grid, and
it would have been mayhem.
I think next series when we do the multi-splits, that should open up a different avenue as well.
Yeah, especially if we can work out how to do it the way we want to do it. Here we go. Ash chose the sausage, and then Cuts chose the Mercedes.
Yep, Exocet 1, home in Beacon at 1.
That's the second time that the rear right of your car's caught a right wallop.
So it's not shown the other incident, but basically there's an incident that happens before that, because I think I was running 5th or 6th with you when I'm at. One of the other drivers has a bit of an off and causes Matt to brake, and as I brake,
oh yeah, around the last but one corner, yeah.
Yeah, it puts me into a nice 360.
That's where Shmee and Tony came together, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then my tyres are just cooked from that here and out. And I just made a nice, terrible mistake, really.
And then here we go. To put it in a nutshell, this was myself and Todd. We came through the field, but Michael, because he got something happened with his PC, he ended up on pole. So he got a good 10-second lead. So we hunted him down, and then to put it in
bullied him.
Yeah, basically for about 15 minutes. And that's what we will be showing after this, because he defended so good and withstood the pressure until this moment, the second to last lap, where he obviously couldn't carry both the weight of me and Todd for that amount of time. And yeah, it was so unfortunate for him because he'd done so well up until then, but pressure pays off in the end.
Another win for Todd.
Yep.
I mean, looking at your race times there, 46.1, fast times then.
Yeah. I think I just literally marginally awesome. Marginally beat him to the fastest lap by about 2/300ths of a second.
Oh, what happened at the
Yeah.
end?
I just threw it, just like Michael, except I threw it in the wall.
So what I'll do then is I'll open the main race highlights and I'm going to set it on Michael's race spoiler and do a bit of a chase cam. So I'll let you know the timings.
Yep. So it's just bear with us, guys, while we find it. It's got to be that one, hasn't it? Yeah, that's practice race. Oh, I've put it on the saved. Right,
So
there we go.
I'm going from 30.43, so that should give us about 3 laps of coverage. That I'm just sat on Michael's spoiler, which I've custom put on there.
Right, so let me find his car. Yep, I've got 30.45.
There or thereabouts.
Yeah. Oh.
Right, hang on. Right, I've got it on 30.45, so we'll go
Yep.
3, 2, 1. So it's a nice chase cam set up from Michael's car. This should give us a bit of insight into what's going on. That Porsche is just absolutely uncontrollably rapid, though, isn't it?
Yeah. What happened was we caught him originally, and then I don't know whether the dirty air off the Ferrari affected Todd's tyres, but all of a sudden he started going through all the corners sideways, which then gave me an opportunity to get on the back of him. There's the proof there. And we ended up dropping about 2 seconds from Michael, and for a couple of laps it stayed like that, and I thought, oh, he's maintained it. But then all of a sudden me and Todd just fired back in the 46s, and we were back on his tail like now, and you can see he's pushing him along.
I think that was new to patch 1.9, wasn't it? The dirty air.
I think so, yeah. It's more, it affects the cars more with tyres and temperatures. But for Michael to withstand the pressure the way he did was fantastic. It's just unfortunate the race was an extra couple of laps.
Yeah, I mean, I felt it in race 1 with Gav. I was sweating like a good one.
Yeah. It was weird because the Ferrari wasn't the fastest in any particular sector. It seemed to be quite average. Yeah, there's the mistake. Yeah, it was average over the lap, but whereas the Porsche was really fast in sector 1, and the Lamborghini was really fast in sector 3. So you just kept like the gap would, grow, and then it'd come back again, and you just wouldn't catch each other at the right point to overtake. It was very difficult, but it was really good to keep the field together.
I'm sat on board with Todd now, and it's still some.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments where I get really close, but when you go through the bomb hole where the camber is, as soon as you hit that camber and you're in the dirty air, your front aero just wastes away. It was horrible. I hadn't experienced it all week, and then these last 2 laps, I just had no front grip. But other than that, I was able to stay with him. I think by now though, because we were banging in 41s and 42s, 46 1s and 46 2s for about 10 laps to catch Michael. I think our tyres were shot by now.
I was just going to say that. It'd been interesting to see what it would have been like as an hour reverse grid.
Yeah. But yeah, the dirty air, and there we go. As soon as you hit the camber, and that cost me an attempt, really. This is the area where the Lambo was fastest, and I was too far behind.
Porsche just so fast out of the corner. Though.
Oh yeah, it's the torque and the traction is incredible. I mean, the Lambo's good, but the Porsche is something else.
Are you running full headlights on there?
Yeah. I normally do as a distraction. I'm not one who flashes the headlights, but I'll run with the headlights on just to let them know
Just to
I'm
let them
on
know
their ass.
your presence.
Yeah. Yes.
Does Michael close you down anymore, or does he
No.
stay? No. Wonder if his tyres are shot then.
Possibly. Possibly. I think he was recovering from the stress of having us two behind him. He stays about that far behind, like, but I think if me and Todd had battled a bit more without making the stupid mistakes, then he would have been right on us. But he was there if anything did happen.
It's close, isn't it? Like 4 tenths.
Yeah. It's weird with the Porsche being as fast as it is in a straight line now. You can't take advantage of it anymore because it's such a good car. It just hates its tyres. But here we go again through this corner. I get the aero wash. I even took a really tight line and it still just spat me out, and that was it. But yeah, fair play, Todd. Quality driving, mate.
I found that an horrific corner. I found out washing the tyres slightly on that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was such a good battle. Best race of the season from my point of view. So close between us three. It was brilliant.
Quality.
I really enjoyed it. And it just goes to show you don't always need 30 cars on the grid to have such good racing. You know, it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it.
But yeah, big shout out to all those that took part in the series with CVR for this one. Not just this race, but all the races. We've had many drivers. I think we've had 53 drivers, 56 drivers from the start to the end. Obviously, some have stayed, some have not. But we've certainly got a very good bunch now. Got some fast drivers, which is what's led us on to creating the splits. So if you are watching and you're not already signed up, by all means drop onto the Discord, jump onto the chat with us, and you'll love it.
And tune in for season 3 because it's getting better every series. So
Yeah.
be prepared for season 3.
Well, tune in for Spa, yeah.
Well, yeah, we've got a 4-hour endurance coming up on Sunday. That could be interesting.
But yeah, big shout out to them all, and well done, Michael, Todd, and yourself, Matt. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with you soon.
See you next time.